Good morning. It's been a while since I've been here with you, and I wanted to try a little experiment this morning as we move towards the darkest night of the year. And we notice whatever we notice about ourselves in this time, whether it is resistance and anxiety or a softening and surrendering and allowing the grace of being in dark times, both in our natural cycles of the world, winter time and solstice, but also in the dark times of being in the world right now. And this morning, I spent some time listening to a podcast put out by Emergence Magazine that was called Be Earth Now, named after a poem by Rainier Maria Rilke. Um, and it was Anita Barrows and Joanna Macy speaking some of the poems. And I was really taken by the guidance and the invitation and the beckoning that was in so many of those lines of that young poet. You know, he was in his 20s, a young German man that wrote most of these poems, or received most of these poems about our relationship with the divine. And so I want to do a little experiment here, if you'll bear with me. And I have some things I want to share personally, but I want to try to braid it into some of Rilke's words and his wisdom and invitation, also about our role of loving the world and how they might be entwined. And perhaps I'll end with a poem by a poet friend of mine. So I know that for myself and probably for others of you, this time of year can be full of paradox. There's so much energy towards gathering and coming together, and yet our earth and our cycles are saying, no, this is a time to quiet, to perhaps be in hermitage, to go into silence and alone time. But our culture does not support that. And it's especially confusing right now, given the question of COVID and new variants and all of that. It's like, is it safe to come together? And after all this time of not being together, what don't we remember about true fellowship and communion with others? So if we truly are in relationship with the natural world and with the cycles, if we are echoes of the earth, we know that this is a time of the long night, the deep silence, and gestation time. And Rilke says, I love the dark hours of my being. My mind deepens into them. Then the knowing comes. I can open to another life. I believe in all that has never yet been spoken. I want to free what waits within me so that what no one has dared to wish for may for once spring clear without my contriving. I know that for me, I've been anxious to want to bring plans forward for the next year, words forward in my writing, in my Patreon, and I've been impatient and concerned. Where have my words gone? What wisdom do I have to share? And Rilke goes on to remind us, or to offer a kind of prayer, that may what I do flow from me like a river. No forcing, no holding back, the way it is with children. I will sing you as no one ever has, streaming through widening channels into the open sea. So much of his poetry, he's either being the voice of the divine and earth or making a prayer to the divine. So I know that I have been actually feeling a bit bound up, and um, my mind and my concerned one wants to know, what are the plans for next year? What programs will I offer? Can I offer programs? Um, and that sort of gravitational pull towards quiet and towards waiting and patience is annoying at times, is concerning at times. And then I come back to my body. Many of you know that I had open heart surgery just 3 months ago. And I realize I am not done with my healing, and my healing is not done with me. And this last week, just a small incision made in the long scar that marks the territory of a deep cleaving and opening. Just that small opening allowed me to listen to yet one more voice in me that longs to be seen and heard and tended, that I can only hear in the quiet and with help from friends. Is this how it is with Earth right now, after the pummeling, the breaking into her body, the rape, the stealing of her riches, the poisoning and killing of her children, plants and the animal allies, and the building over her essential soils? Out of the furrows and the drilling holes and the mountain decapitations are there cries for an attention given from us for her healing. Again, back to Rilke. Mm. He says, through the empty branches the sky remains. It is what you have. Be earth now and even song. Be the ground lying open under that sky. Be modest now, like a thing ripened until it is real, so that he who began it all can feel you when he reaches for you. There is an invitation in so much of Rilke's writings um, to love the earth, to know that our movement towards earth makes a difference, and it ripens earth in, in many beautiful ways. I want to love the things as no one has thought to love them until they are real and worthy of you. Hmm. And he even goes so far as to say, since I don't know about pain, this terrible darkness makes me feel small. Pressed down hard on me. He's like inviting the pain, knowing that in the deep pain and our cries out meet something in the divine. After every fear and every night, I will behold you again. So these times, this darkness, this solstice time is an invitation to us to be in that darkness, even be in the pain, to be in the dying, trusting that it is fertile ground, trusting that something is germinating inside of us, just like it has happened forever since the beginning of time. the seeds deepen into the dark soil and they wait. And I must wait. And you must wait for our directions, instructions from the divine. So I wonder if we can stop now. If we can imagine pulling in all our tired limbs and our tails and our heaving snouts into a deep, dark cave of rest and revelation, a deep sleep of listening. Can we allow a time of hibernation and let the emptiness have a place inside of us? Can I trust what will come in time, the intimate fertilization and germination of what is mine inside of Earth's body to blossom forth with fragrance and fruit for others? Can I just let go and trust a greater sense of my particular unfolding? I feel like so much letting go has had to happen for me over the last 2 years. You would think I would be an expert at it, but I am not. It is a constant effort to let go. Sort of a paradoxical thing of like the relaxing and letting go is actually effortful for many of us. I cannot force my wounds to heal. Time is the healer. The scars that bind the cleaving of my body have their own sense of coming together. I cannot rush them, nor can I rush the coming together of love and beauty and wisdom and teachings. They are knitting together inside of me right now and inside of you. And when we honor and bow to this beautiful invitation from the natural world to go within, to quiet down, to find our peace, some of the first little whimperings of a quickening begin. I have been circling for thousands of years and still don't know, am I a falcon, a storm, or a great song? And as if the divine were speaking, I am you, anxious one. Don't you sense me ready to break into your being at your touch? Don't you see me cloaked in stillness? I am the dream you are dreaming. I grow strong in the beauty you behold. There's another one of those teachings about when we behold beauty, the divine blossoms forth and grows strong. Trust me, I am made of longing, he says. All will come again into its strength. We must serve earth lest we remain unused. You are the future, the red sky before sunrise over the fields of time. You create yourself in ever-changing shapes from the stuff of your days. You are the deep innerness of all things, the last word that can never be spoken. And perhaps I will bring two more stanzas of Rilke's words forward and let that be enough. Too many words do not make us better. But he brings such wisdom. I just want to leave you with this one. I don't believe it's a full poem. I believe it's a partial poem. I'll bring the other poem at another time. Rilke says, How surely gravity's law, strong as an ocean current, takes hold of even the smallest thing and pulls it toward the heart of the world. Pulls it toward the heart of the world. That's what gravity does. Each thing, each stone, blossom, child is held in place. Only we, in our arrogance, push out beyond what we each belong to for some empty freedom. If we surrendered to Earth's intelligence, we could rise up rooted like trees. Instead, we entangle ourselves in knots of our own making and struggle, lonely and confused. So, like children, we begin again to learn from things. This is what the things can teach us: to fall patiently, to trust our heaviness. Even a bird has to do that before it can fly. I wish you the deepest, darkest, longest night of solstice, that the stars will reflect the first glimmerings of new lights that will grow in you, but only with time. May we be patient. May we trust the unfolding of time, that it has its own mysterious mechanisms that we cannot understand. I wish that these coming weeks be holy days for you, that these holy days are healing days, that your body, your heart, your soul will heal in some miraculous ways, and out of you will sprout the desire to love the natural world so fully that it grows in its divinity because of your relationship and communion with it. I'm wishing you all the best. Again, I apologize for not having been really regular. I think what I've said speaks for itself for why that is. And I trust you all. I trust you all to be listening deeply and to living in a tending and loving way with the world and yourself. Okay, much, much love to all of you.